everybody, and welcome back to Phantasmal Forest, a D&D show with a bunch of college students and an engineering institution and a devil. So, last we left off, we were traveling into Glim's school for engineering, alchemy, and reason gear in order to find Gimbal Glim himself. And you are currently on the first floor I believe you just took a nap in the green room.
I'm tired. Just a long day.
Yeah. You had encountered a devil in some part of the school, and he had kind of slipped away after you encountered him. And now it's the dawn of a new day, and you're waking up and deciding how to continue on your journey through the school. There's basically one room you haven't been to yet that you can see. You know that there is a door there, and there is also a portcullis, another one that is going to enter into this room. So there is one closed door and one portcullis that are actually kind of like right next to each other. It's almost kind of at like a 90-degree angle, and there's portcullis here and then closed door to the left. So,
did we regain our hit points and spell slots?
Yes, full rest. So max hit points, all your spell slots are back. All that good stuff.
Love that for us. Okie dokie. I am not interested in fighting with the portcullis again just yet, so I vote for going through the closed door.
Awesome. Great. You grab on the door handle.
We went through this door though? Do we need to check our traps?
Actually, Mirje, please make a dexterity saving throw. Oops. Whoops. Love starting at a new session. When you forget you have to check for traps.
I got a 16. I always forget to check.
Woo! So you managed to duck out of the way as it's pretty crude actually. Little arrow, like a really thin projectile, kind of comes out of the door as you grab the handle, but the door opens.
Let me just get out my notebook, write a note, check for traps. We can go on now.
That is a good note to make.
It's in all caps. I wrote it down.
You enter into this room, and it's one of the biggest rooms you've been in, besides the big amphitheater with the stage. It looks like almost like a student center, study room. There are tables and couches set up all around in different kind of arrangements, clusters. There are books galore all over the walls on different cabinets and structures and tables piled with them, and there are runes drawn on all the walls. It is kind of like they'll have these big central pieces and then kind of a scattering of runes around them in kind of a circular motion, almost dissipating on the wall, and you can see kind of 10 of these really big clusters scattered around the room. On the rightmost part of the room, you see what looks to be like a small alchemical setup, almost like if this was to be kind of a student room at a college that studies alchemy. They might have a small setup for students to come in over here. But there is a giant red lever on the desk as well. So it's mostly like small vials, little containers, Bunsen burner, kind of like little fantasy Bunsen burners, I guess, that are probably just regular Bunsen burners, and this giant red lever.
Does it seem like the kind of one that you pull if there's an emergency, like if somebody gets alchemy?
You can go look at it.
Okay, that's a fair point. Engage with the world. Okay,
is that an investigation?
Yes. That's a hot 7, which with my +4.
It is really big and it's red, but there's no sign around it that says in case of emergency in big bold letters. So if it is for emergencies, it is not labeled as such.
Question about the runes. Do they look like the same protective runes that we saw in the other room?
Do you want to do an Arcana check?
I sure do. I got a dirty 20.
A dirty 20. No. They don't look like the same runes. They look a little bit closer to a kind of countdown. They look like numbers.
Countdown.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Are they like? Is it like moving in a direction? Like there's like a part of the.
They're kind
I guess
of
they're a
in
one,
these,
and they're like
these clusters I described, where there's this kind of big central marker and all these kind of smaller rings dispersing out of it, and they're almost like flowers with petals coming out, and they're all over the room, not necessarily in a linear order, but they're kind of these big circular portions of the wall have been mapped to these runes, just kind of scattered around. It's quite a big room, so there's enough for these to be, quite big decorations and everything. So it's a very interesting accent wall at the very least.
Not sure what else we're going to find walking around looking at this room. I want to find the people in here.
Would they also be invisible?
I mean, maybe.
Can I do I have to roll to weird question. Do I have to roll for hearing? Like if I want to hear, listen for any specific noises or whatever?
So that would be a perception check, I think.
Okay, sure. I can do that. Sure. 20.
20?
Yep.
You don't hear anything around you other than the three of you.
I personally feel like I'm not sure what else to do in this room, so are there exits?
Okay, yeah, same hat.
There is another door. There is another door out of here, which I just didn't speak into existence, so sorry about that. It is a large door with a big lock. It kind of is bolted what seems to be pretty securely. This door is metal. It leads just around the corner. It's kind of near the alchemical setup, and it leads somewhere. You definitely hadn't seen this door. It's not on the other side. You know what I mean? You hadn't seen this door from somewhere else.
I'd like to check
for traps.
Yeah.
Go, Oliver.
It's a 13.
It doesn't appear to be trapped. It's definitely locked.
Okay, I feel good about that. If it's locked, it is probably not trapped. I feel like it's the pattern we've encountered at the college.
Yeah, basically. I like breaking down doors.
Balthus.
I love breaking down doors.
Break down the door. Break down the door.
All right. I guess I'll do the same thing as I did last time. Sort of ram it and knock it off its hinges, sort of thing.
Can you roll an attack roll for me, please?
Sure. I got a 15, and then what's an attack, which is attack, and that is strength. 11. 11.
What did you roll?
The D 10.
Did you roll a 20-sided die?
I did that. That was a 15.
Right.
Uh-huh.
And then you'd have to add to it. Where's on your equipment page? There should be a little chart.
I'm in the wrong section.
Where your attack bonuses are.
Section. My attack bonus is 6 for this.
So that's 15 plus 6, so that's 21.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay, that hits the door. Roll damage.
Yep, damage. All right, so now this is 10. 4 plus 4, 8.
Okay, you make a little dent in the door, but
okay.
It's not as badly damaged as some of the wood doors you had encountered before this. It's a little bit stronger.
Oliver, what if you blasted with one of your blasting spells?
My concern with that is that if we encounter a beastie, that it would maybe be good to blast with one of my blasty spells.
That's a fair point.
But I could use a cantrip, but the only Firebolt or Ray of Frost, I don't know if either of them would really be good. I feel like Firebolt would just make the door hot and bad to touch.
Yeah, that's fair. I really don't have anything that comes in handy here.
We didn't pick up or see a key any point, did we?
You can search around the room more. You kind of saw the job, but you haven't gone through and checked any of the tables or desks or couches.
Let's all do a search.
Yeah. Right. Search. So that'd be
I'll make investigation checks.
Thank you.
I got a 23.
I got a 16.
Oh, I got a nat 20 plus 2. 20.
Nice.
So, Mirje and Oliver, you guys are walking around. I mean, about this, you're going through, you're looking through backpacks and chairs and stuff, and students' stuff. You don't really find anything too particularly interesting. Oliver and Mirje, kind of towards the back, you're kind of making your way across the room in kind of different directions, and you both get to this cabinet at the same time, and you open it up, and there's like a weird statue like inside of this cabinet, and the door, on the inside of the door, it just has the inscription, show me only knowledge.
So we just have to prove that we're smart?
Question, sorry. So there's a cabinet. We open the cabinet and a statue is inside of it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then where does the inscription say, show me only knowledge? In the cabinet door or on the...
Yeah, it's on one of the, so it kind of center pulls and one of the sides of the door kind of has it written in. It looks, it's not like a graffiti, it looks like it's meant to go with this, and if you look more closely at the statue, you can see it's actually, like, this is one piece of furniture, and the kind of, like, the intention of this cabinet is to actually house this kind of statuette.
What's the statue of?
Make a religion check.
Oh, sick. I'm not good at that, but that's okay. Okay, I got a dirty 20. I'm rolling so well.
Yeah, this one wasn't that hard. This is Ioun.
Ioun. How do I...
Ioun, yeah. She's a knowing mistress. She's a goddess of knowledge.
Sick. Goddess of knowledge. Do any of you guys have any good knowledge?
I have things I've read while working at my guild, but I think maybe it might involve the runes would be something.
I know very little of the runes.
What?
Then they're right in front of me.
I think I'm not the best with brainy magic. I kind of just do a little doodle-doo.
An artiste.
Yeah. I mean, I have knowledge of music. I'm going to play a song.
Go for it.
Hopefully this isn't copyrighted. Does that count?
Nothing happens.
Nothing
but it was really beautiful.
I kind of figured, but was worth a shot.
I love that your performance was so good that you did not need to roll. Like, it was just like, excellent.
I guess I could have made you roll a performance check. I was just going off the fact that you actually played.
Yeah, I read it as like you were just appreciating.
Yeah, me too, yeah.
Me and Suzanne was just like, yay!
Okay, I feel I don't know what I would say that would sound so smart that it would let me through. And these runes are really getting to me. Mirje, did you do an investigation check or an arcana check?
I did an arcana check on the runes and they're a countdown. That's what I got with a 20, which is a pretty good score. So I don't know how much I'm going to get out of the runes, unfortunately. Do you know any of these? Are you familiar with runic magic?
That is a good question. Suzanne, how familiar am I? Is that like a history check or arcana also?
I think you could do a history or arcana if you'd want for that. You're just figuring what do you know about, like, Mirje, when you were looking at the rooms, your arcana check was like, what are these doing? And I'm telling you it's a countdown. And now if you want to check out, like, am I familiar with how these runes might be used? You could do either history or arcana, and I could try to tell you something more about that.
Okay, I'm gonna try arcana then. Ooh. That's an 8 because I rolled a 2.
They are counting down to something.
Or up. I'm a little lost.
Or up to something. That is so true.
Here's an idea. Mirje, could you sketch some of these and we could show it to someone who may be able to decipher?
Of course, yeah.
Because you're a pretty good artist.
Thank you.
Make a performance roll.
I sure will. Nice. A 19 plus 4. It's 23.
It's a really good drawing. You get like very nice likenesses of these runes and the kind of way that the kind of smaller drawings scatter out from it.
This is very nice. Maybe I will hang it in my room at home one day. I show the picture of I orient the picture that I have drawn towards the thing that says, show me the knowledge.
It doesn't do anything, but I really like that.
I thought it was worth a try.
I feel like I pushed that the runes are definitely related, but also like we have not confirmed that. Is there a way we could, do you think maybe an investigation check to see if they're related?
You would be,
Or
what would you be
going?
investigating for?
If like it, maybe if it seems like they were like crafted at the same time or similar handwriting.
Sure.
That's a 16.
It is similar handwriting, actually. You don't necessarily know if that means these two are the same thing, but at least the same person probably constructed both of these two things that are going on.
Okay.
Okay, well, nothing I've tried so far has worked, but this is what I've also got. I think I still have a little bit of like yellow fungus in my bag, so not touching it with my hands, actually. I'm just gonna pull it out, be like, this is fungus, and it's yellow and it's corrosive, and all mushrooms are fungus, but not all fungus is mushrooms. And I'm like watching it to see if anything happens, but I'm just gonna keep talking. Now, mushrooms are not in the plant or animal kingdom, and they reproduce through spores. And the mycelial network comes underneath the ground and nourishes a lot of the other plants around. Is anything happening?
Make a perception check. Did you look this up, or did you just know that stuff?
This is just stuff that I know. Nice, I got a 19 again. These dice are great.
That's so amazing.
Plus 3, I got.
Nothing changes.
Okay, I give up. Let's go to the other door, or you do something, but I don't know a lot. I know a lot about mushrooms and fungus, but they're not always the same thing. But I'm going to shut up now.
No, this has been so educational, but I do want to make...
Do you guys want a hint?
Yes.
The answer is really dumb. It's very...
I break it.
Like, you're probably going to be mad at me. And I'll remind you that the exact quote on the plaque says, "Show me only knowledge."
I write the word knowledge in my book and hold it up.
You see, like, a drawer pop open underneath the statue.
I don't want to do this campaign anymore.
I quit.
Welcome to the last episode. Welcome to the last.
I hope you guys have had a good time listening, tuning in.
Thank you. This is the final episode of Phantasmal Forest. It was
wait. Can we at least see what's in the drawer before we end it? All right. So I walk over and do I have to like look into the drawer?
You can pull it out. It's a piece of paper with a note on it, and it says that in the kitchen there's a secret door that'll lead you up to Gimble's office quickly. And it kind of has a quick map into the cabinet you'll need to go into in the kitchen.
Finally. Let's go to the kitchen. Where's the kitchen?
Have we been to the kitchen? Is the kitchen beyond the door we can't get over?
Maybe.
What if we all attack the door at once? I have a sword. Oliver, you have...
I can whack it with my stick.
A hitty thing?
Smack it.
I can do Ray of Frost, but I don't want to hit you guys.
Maybe you firebolt it at the same time that we sword it.
I don't want to set you guys on fire either.
No, that's fair.
I know, I got a stick. I got my staff. I could just whack it. I don't know what damage that does, but I could find out.
Does that count as a staff or an improvised weapon?
I mean, it's a quarterstaff, so I feel like...
you have a quarterstaff. Yeah. Everyone starts with a basic weapon.
Great.
Oliver did just choose a stick, but that's on him.
I really don't have any better ideas.
I'm down.
All I'm gonna say,
I like hitting things,
is that this is the first floor of a college, so I did not design this trap to be deadly.
The trap?
Trap?
I mean, getting through this door, like...
Oh, okay.
Are you sure we should not check?
You did check the door, didn't you?
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
You said, it's not trapped.
Yeah.
I mean, it's got 13, so you're not sure, but like, you feel pretty good about it.
Okay, I'm going to look up how much damage my quarterstaff does.
On 3, let's hit the door. Where's my equipment? I'm using my longsword with both hands.
Making me get the whiteboard out so much earlier than I thought.
Okay, are we all rolling damage?
Yeah.
Or 1,
2,
3.
3. Hit the door.
Okay, everyone roll to attack.
All right, I got a net 20.
Nice. Hit the door so good.
We have to remember you're going to roll your damage dice, and then you're going to double, and then add your modifier.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do we have to roll to hit?
Yes, roll to hit.
Okay.
Okay.
I wasn't sure with the door if it was different.
I got a 16.
I got a
16?
14. Oh, yeah.
You connect, but it doesn't seem to do anything. Like, it's hard to miss a door. The damage, the AC is more for can you actually do something to it.
So do I not roll damage?
No.
Rude.
Oliver.
I got a 10.
So you also hit the door with a stick, and it does not hurt the metal door.
Yeah.
Balthus, you rolled a nat 20.
I rolled a 14 in total damage.
Wow, 14. The door is still up.
Is it bloodied?
Bloodied? It's a door.
Bloodied is a term we use in D&D to be like you're at like at least a quarter health, I think.
Oh,
is
okay,
what the kind of technical mark is. It generally just means is it really hurt?
Okay, yeah, got you.
The door is bloodied.
Is it oozing?
It's not oozing anything.
There are a lot of terms. There are a lot of terms I do not know.
Monster house.
Oozing is not a term that Oliver.
Okay.
It's always weird. Oliver just say that aloud.
So should I smack it one more time, see what happens?
Smack it.
Sure.
So we just like ram it again.
Roll to attack.
All right, let's do it. Whoa, okay, chill. I got a 17 for attack, and then
that
damage.
You go to connect and you just kind of stick your sword through like a little hole you made before. You don't actually like do any further damage. You just like had such great aim that you went through exactly the same spot. You can keep beating up the door.
I was gonna say, should I just keep doing this until it breaks?
It's not the most elegant solution, and it has been making quite a bit of noise.
It might take a really long time.
That's my worry. I don't want to slam this door for like hours on end.
Why don't we go back the way we came and then go through the other portcullis?
Yeah.
The portcullis also leads into this room.
Okay.
It was just an alternate entrance.
There's no way we're getting through this.
All right, slamming it is.
Hit it again, I guess.
All right.
Doors are truly the enemy of every D&D party.
This is gonna make an awesome meme. I got an 18.
That also doesn't hit.
Oh, I'm gonna fucking inspire him.
Okay.
That's a good idea.
You're inspired.
Whoa, I'm so inspired.
Roll again, roll to hit, and then roll a d6 and add it.
Okay. Roll. Okay, I got a 20. Wow, these dice are good. So in that case, roll a d6, you said? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I got a 4.
Yeah, no, 24 hits. You can do your damage.
Cool. Ooh, 8. Nice.
And double it, right?
Oh, yeah, because it's doubled. No, hold on. 16.
You got a natural 20 again?
Yes, I did.
Well,
so
Skylar, it doesn't matter. You definitely break down the door with whatever math you're doing.
Okay, finally. 8 times the charm. I did it. I'm like dancing. I'm like, I did it.
Good job.
And
onward.
It smashes through into the hallway behind it, and there's a little bit more here to go. So this hallway turns to the east, and you can follow it down, and you can see off in the distance when the hallway turns again, a stairwell leading up.
There better not be any more frickin' doors at the top of that stairwell.
There's also a little hallway off to the left where you can see another closed and presumably locked door.
Oh, fuck that. Up. Go up.
You're just gonna go up?
That's my vote.
Yeah, I'm down to go up. I
Please.
feel a little bad for
Didn't it say
Balthus.
Gimbals upstairs? Glim?
Oh yeah, let's look at our map.
Yeah, so it's not a map of the whole place, but it mentions that Gimbals, let's see, his office is on the 4th floor, but there is a shortcut up through the kitchen on the 2nd floor, and it kind of shows you where the shortcut is. There's a secret door in the kitchen that'll get you there. But you're still welcome to walk around and look through the second. I mean, obviously, I'm going to have to, you don't know where the kitchen is right now. I'm sure once you get there, you'll be able to find your way up. But as of right now, you're just kind of getting up the stairs and you see another long hallway in front of you. And there's a portrait at the far end and it kind of turns off left. And that's kind of what you can see as you're exiting the stairwell.
This is after going up one flight of stairs?
One flight of stairs, yep.
We're on the 2nd floor now.
Yep.
Great.
This actually, there is no, like, you can't go up multiple flights of stairs here. This stairwell only brings you to the 2nd floor.
Cool. Well, yeah, let's walk down that hallway. I'm walking.
All right.
Yeah.
Walking forward. We're going.
Yeah.
We're actually
Yeah,
moving.
these boots were
Yeah.
made for
Great,
walking.
great. I just didn't hear you, so I was like,
Yeah.
wait. All right. You turn down this hallway to the left, and it kind of opens up into a small, like, formal sitting room. There's a couple plush chairs. There is kind of what looks to be a fireplace on the back wall, although it's not really setting off any smoke, and there's no, like, chimney, and you're not, like, on an outside wall, so you're not really sure how it could be there, but it's a fireplace. And it's kind of, the hallway continues on a little bit into a more open space, but there is, this nice little room here. Oh, and there's a door. I keep forgetting to tell you about the doors. I look down. There's a door on the other side.
Is it locked?
You don't know.
Can I check for that and also
Roll
for
an
traps?
investigation check.
That's a hot 6.
It's a 6. You can't see anything.
There's a doorknob.
There is a doorknob. There's also a sign, but you decide you're just going to look at the door handle and not look at what the sign says.
Do we see the sign?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's a bathroom.
Oh, okay.
All right.
No other doors?
Not in this little kind of like sitting room, but you can walk kind of through this. It's almost like the hallway opens up to a sitting room suddenly with a bathroom and then kind of extends into a hallway past it.
Let's keep going then. Unless anybody has to pee. E-break?
I'm good.
All right, onward we go.
Great. You walk through and you are in a cafeteria. Just where you ought to be. You can see lots of round tables scattered around this room. Some of them have the beginnings of being set. There's some silverware, there's some tablecloths on some of them, but some of them are completely empty, and it looks like someone kind of left in the middle of doing this task. In the right, you can see a door opens up into what you presume into a kitchen, a couple swinging doors, and there's a little bit of a kind of buffet kind of window open on the kitchen that currently has a screen pulled down. And in the back left corner of this cafeteria is the cabinet that you would kind of seen crossed off on your note. There is another exit to the cafeteria. It's another set of wide double doors that kind of open just directly across the way from you. They're already propped open. You can see there's another little bit of hallway there.
So we have a map, yeah? Does the map show us anything about the secret passage that it said was in the kitchen?
It just noted where it was. It didn't necessarily have a full map of this kitchen. It just kind of gave you a quick sketch and like, here's where it should be, which is in this back area. Not a full map of the floor, and Yeah, you guys can do whatever you want. There is fun stuff here for you, but there's also fun stuff upstairs. So I'm not going to make this, you have to do either one, but you could go straight up through there.
What do we see of interest in the cafeteria that we might want to investigate next?
There's no food like out on the tables. It was in the beginnings of being set when it seemed to be like abandoned pretty quickly. And the kitchen, you could go into the kitchen and maybe see if there's definitely food in there. I guess the only reason for you to adventure, to walk around more of this would be to determine, like, get some context clues for what's happening, or you could try to rush to Glim and kind of see if you can get the information that way.
I kind of want to go to Glim.
Yeah.
Let's find that secret passage this way, right? As said on the map?
Yeah. You can walk up through the cafeteria into there's a door into like a back cabinet, and it's really small. Like, you would have, like, why is there kind of a cupboard that's this small in a cafeteria this large? And it just kind of has a couple brooms and a back wall as you open up the kind of cupboard.
Investigate the wall to see if I can get in it.
Yeah, you investigate the wall.
Roll.
The first thing you notice, you have to roll, because I'm stupid. I was like, no, God, do it. Roll your dice. I'll tell you what you know then.
Give it to me, but I got a 3. That's a 5.
There is some writing on this wall.
Hey, there's some writing on this wall. Come look.
All right, I'm going to try to come back from the bathroom mistake. Can I also do an investigation check?
Wait, what happened to the bathroom?
I just did not recognize it.
Oh. I was like, whoa, did you?
Yeah, sorry, that was a little vague.
Yeah, what languages do you know?
What languages do I know?
Yeah, I believe it's skills and proficiencies.
You probably know Elvish.
Yeah, I do know Elvish.
One.
I have one part where it's just written other. That I maybe did I not fill that in, or did I put the note somewhere else?
I know Balthus is just draconic and common, so you cannot read it. Mirje, exactly. You are common, Elvish, and abyssal. You cannot read it.
I said I have common, Elvish, and other, and I feel like I picked another one, but maybe I forgot to put it in the.
Yeah, I mean, it would be a simple language, so you get like the racial ones, like Gnomish, Halfling.
Let's just say Gnomish.
Gnomish. You still can't read it. But good a guess as any. A gnome owns this place.
Yeah, that sure is writing.
The writing's on the wall.
Do we want to? Excuse me. Write this down again. God, can't speak.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna mark it down.
Yeah. Goodness. Can you just write like that you took a note of the infernal that was in gear, maybe, and that will help me let you know what it is later.
Infernal, that's fun.
You don't know it's infernal. You've just kind of copied the symbols. But it will help me if you try to tell me, like, I wrote down a thing from this dungeon and I want to know what it is. It will help me to know that it's infernal.
All right, cool. We can't find a way to get through this cupboard that it said is the secret passage.
You rolled an investigation check to try to find the secret door, and you are having a much lower DC because you know it is there, but unfortunately a 5 did not meet it.
Wow, this is great.
I rolled an investigation check. Could I try?
Yes.
I got a 16.
A 16? Oh my God. You know when you walked in here and there was the kind of brick wall that you had to push in a certain place? It's the same thing. You go up to the back wall, you find it, you push the right piece, and it swings back into a room. And it is a square room, and it has 2 wooden pieces that are being held up in this pulley system. And you look up, and it goes up really far in this kind of central shaft, right, that like leads up a couple stories. So it looks like it will bring you where it said, but you still need to figure out some way to get you all up the pulley system.
2 wooden pieces. There's not like a basket, or it's literally
it's like 2 like it's just pieces of wood, like almost like shelves, right, that are tied up.
Yeah. You have to pull on one side. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you think if Balthus pulls us both up, then from the top we can pull him both up. That probably won't work very well. We can try.
What's the worst case scenario if we do that? Is there anything where it's like
he falls 2 stories?
Oh,
no, yeah, it's
good.
Just a quick
2d6 damage.
He can probably take it, but do you think once we get up there's someone who can help us? We're not. But if we do it together, maybe we will be strong.
Yeah. Oh, could you also do Mage Hand with it, or does that not?
Mage Hand can't hold more than like 5 pounds.
But could it help out?
But
with
could
that extra 5 pounds for missing?
Right? Mage Hand can hold up to 10 pounds. So
10 pounds. Okay.
What if
Balthus is a dragonborn, so he is gonna weigh. It's gonna be heavy. Like he's built
and Mage Hand. No.
So Mage Hand, I would say Balthus. We could put like a dragonborn. I don't know, like maybe like 220. Like he's got a lot of muscle. He's wearing a lot of armor as well, so that might even up it.
Also
you got Mage
scale.
Hand.
Also, yeah, I got scales.
You need to be able to lift like 100 pounds.
Yeah, that.
And it's a pulley system, so that should reduce some of it, but it's not like it's a weird length, so it might. I don't know. It's very much a weird counterbalance system. This is an eccentric engineer who did come up with this.
What if we all get on one side and we all pull the other side of the pulley system, right? There are 2 things. We're on the one thing. We reach across, grab the other rope, and pull ourselves up all at once.
I'm just okay. Can you run me through the sequence of events? Because do we grab the other side? I want to follow you where you're going, but I am having some difficulty.
Okay. And I'm gonna draw it on my notebook to help them understand. I can actually draw it for you.
Please draw it on your real notebook.
Yeah, I'm gonna draw it on my real notebook. Okay.
I feel like if we step on the plank, like
here are the 2 planks, right? Here's the weight system at the top where the ropes thread through. Go up the pulley system by pulling this rope down enough that the other one comes up, right? If we all stand on this one.
Yeah, but my question is,
Hold on. And we all, this is us, Oliver, Mirje, Balthus, we all pull, these are our hands, on the other one as we're moving up. The combined strength.
Okay, but I feel like it's going to be difficult getting to that starting position because I feel like, what is the angle? Can we reach the ropes already? Because I feel like we step on one platform and we start plummeting before we grab it.
Yeah, wait. I thought we were at the bottom level. Is there a hole below us?
There's not a hole below you.
So this
is the bottom floor of the pulley.
Oh.
But the pulleys are not at your feet level.
Okay.
Well, we are a little bit higher in the room. I would say maybe like shoulder, but you can get up. I mean, you can pull one down.
Yeah,
I think this is a great plan. This is not how when I planned this, I was like, oh, they're going to have to counterbalance and throw a bunch of stuff, and Balthus is going to be a whole weird thing, and try to vault him into the ceiling. But no, this is great. I love it.
Yeah, I'm into this. I thought we had space below us.
No, this is actually, this does not go any further.
Can I use Mage Hand to
help if you want? Sure.
An extra little boost. Great. I'm going to draw a magical Mage Hand as well on my...
Balthus, you're just watching this happen, watching Mirje and Oliver argue over the notebook as Mirje furiously sketches a pulley system.
So, in my drawing here, Balthus is on the bottom because we can't carry him. So, and then we're going to stack on top.
The platforms are wide enough that you don't have to stand on top of it.
They're wide enough? I didn't know if they were small ones.
No, they're, I mean, it's going to be a squish to have all 3 of you standing on there the full time, but you do not need to be, on top of Balthus.
Great. Let's do it. Is this a strength check?
I would say the check to get on and get situated, I would like everybody to make an athletics roll.
Great, I'm so good at that.
Athletics.
Wow.
Hoorah. Athletic.
That's a 10. That's just not terrible.
Hey, 19!
17.
17, 19, and 10? I think Oliver, like, almost falls over. Like, I can imagine...
Where have I seen this before?
Like, you're trying to climb on, and then you just kind of get your, like, stomach and torso on, and your legs are dangling off the side of the platform for a while before either Balthus or Mirje come and, like, grab your hand and help you stand up. But you all get on there, and you're all kind of balanced on this weird wobbly plank.
Okay, I cast Mage Hand, and we all reach across and start pulling ourselves up.
You ever played the rope thing you ever do at camp, Peanut Butter Pit? You ever played that?
No.
There's like a rope, you just swing across the rope, across the peanut butter pit, which is just dirt. But anyway, it's not important.
Dirt pit doesn't really have the same
part of it is
it.
there's a rope really far away from you and you can't get into the middle section. So you need to find a way to use your team to go get the rope from the other side. And so we always used big sticks and like held girls by their ankles and like threw them out there like crazy. But you just have Mage Hand, so that's a much easier way of doing this.
I feel like I've done that. Yeah.
Yeah. You get it. You go out, you grab the other end of the rope and you bring it over, and you guys can all now make a strength check to pull yourselves up to the 4th floor.
Again, because I'm so very strong, I got a 7. Can I strength check for the Mage Hand? Well, it can only carry 10 pounds, so I guess...
Yeah, the Mage Hand can just do the 10 pounds.
Yeah.
Oliver and Balthus, you guys gonna roll strength checks?
I got a 14.
14? Ooh.
I also got a 14.
A 14? Okay. So it takes a little bit, a while. I think Balthus, just from knocking down that door earlier, your shoulders were a little sore, and so you're just a little slower than usual trying to, like, yank yourself up this pulley system. But you guys managed to get there. Mirje, you didn't help a ton.
You got the Mage Hand.
The Mage Hand was there, and you were very encouraging.
Mastermind behind this whole plan.
That's true. No one can blame you for that. And you manage to pull yourself up to where it kind of like a wooden trap door sits at the top here, and you flip it up, and you can crawl out into this new chamber. What you see in front of you is a very chaotic office. It's shaped like a triangle. So if you can imagine like an equilateral triangle with the point facing down, right? You've got an upper left corner, upper right corner here, and then you kind of go this way. And you're coming up in this kind of upper left-hand corner, which would probably be like, I don't know, northwest, like if we're trying to do a compass rose to orient you here. So you're coming up through this corner of the room. You're looking at the back of a desk, a big ornate wooden piece of furniture, smaller than you. It looks like it's made for someone who may be a smaller race, and a matching chair. Across one of the back diagonal walls is a large pet container. And there are what looks to be different types of rodents kind of scurrying around in this nice fluffy pile of, I don't know what they like the shavings and like paper or whatever that like they like to have, like a bedding. So it's a large kind of extended across the wall. There's a lot of different animals in here, and it looks pretty clean and well taken care of. Big ornate circular rug, nice red, kind of like almost like Zoe's backdrop, but like more rug version. You see on the floor in front of the desk a small gnomish man, unconscious, with a kind of a little bit of blood kind of on the temple.
Oh boy. I'm gonna run over and heal him. I have Cure Wounds. I am going to cast it with touch, and he gains 1d8 plus my spellcasting mod, which I think is 2.
Roll it.
Okay, he got 6 points of health back.
6 points. You can see his kind of eyes flutter open behind these big circular Coke bottle glasses. He's got this kind of crazy frizzy white hair that is it's not receding at all. It's very he's got a lot of hair kind of slicked back across in a longer cut. He's wearing a three-piece suit that looks a little bit disheveled. And if you look closely, you can see there is a pin of the symbol of Ayun that is an eye kind of surrounded by a staff on his lapel. And he sits up and looks at all of you, and it looks very kind of confused and distraught as to why he's waking up in his office unconscious to three strangers, and is just kind of like, who are you exactly?
Hi. I'm Mirje. Very nice to meet you.
I'm Balthus.
I'm Oliver. We just arrived at your college and things seemed very strange.
Stuff is funky downstairs. I don't know if you've been.
Yes. No, it is funky. I haven't been. Well, my name is Gimbal Garrick Gleben Geronk Gilkirk Glim, but you can call me Gim or Gimbal or Gimbly or whatever you see fit.
Okay. What happened to you? What knocked you unconscious?
Something in the school that should not have been here. And, well, I got the students out, and that's good. But unfortunately, it is the burden of the headmaster to go down with this school. Is that a thing? I just assumed.
I don't think you have to, but...
Well, there's a lot of stuff here that I'd rather not other people get their hands on. We may not be a school of magic per se, but alchemy can create some pretty powerful effects.
You didn't did anything attack you?
Not that I noticed.
Yes.
Suddenly I was here planning, sending letters, finishing business to clean up. I had just sent everybody off campus, and here I am now. Why are you here?
Your friend sent us. Melnim?
Oh, that old bird. Get it? It's a bird.
Yeah.
Not, okay. Well, you must have done something of interest if you survived that encounter. Or been nice enough. So I guess that's fine. Did you come up through the police?
Yes.
With the power of teamwork.
And mage hand.
That's good. I set up a lot of traps on the third floor. It was, you gotta, there's stuff in here, you gotta let it, I don't know how, I need to figure this out. I need to figure out who got in here before you. Did you see anybody on your way up?
There was a thing.
A thing?
An imp, a little devil-looking. I don't know if it was this big, maybe bigger.
It turned into a rat, and then it was that big.
Then it was rat-sized. He was rude.
That's not.
Not a professor?
No, I haven't hired any devilish creatures, to my knowledge. I am quite concerned about the presence of something from the Nine Hells here, though.
And there was an owlbear skeleton thing that attacked us. And a bunch of yellow fungus.
That I believe. That was the main problem in recent months.
Like a lot of owlbears or just one?
Owlbears are just in the environment around here. The skeleton is rather concerning, but not out of the normal from what I've seen the moss do before, or the fungus, or the mushroom. No one that's using the place knows
the
what
mystery of the campaign.
I should have done my research. CJ, what am I talking about? It's a fungus.
I don't know. Is it a fungus or is it a mushroom?
It's a fungus.
Okay. Well, I mean, Yeah, if it's a mushroom, it could also be a fungus.
Stop. I don't want to do this again.
When did this fungus show up at your school?
Well, when it showed up in general, I'm not sure. When it showed up at school, must have started 50 years or more. Slowly accumulating outside. We made portals as entrances and exits because we didn't want people to open the doors and somehow let it in the institution that way, but something must have changed. It was one day we had a clear conscience, and the next, suddenly rooms were growing mold and spores and fungus in this yellow color like the outside, and I needed to get everyone out. I haven't seen it this empty in centuries. It's rather disappointing.
Glim, I think maybe if you could lead us through the rest of the school, maybe we could find that devil and he would have information for us.
Yes, maybe.
The writing we saw earlier, the infernal that we don't know is infernal, is it something that we would feel is relevant to bring up? Like, did it look like something that was recently written? Like,
I'll pull out my book.
Yeah, I just don't want to like jump to it if like I feel like it's acting a little like metagaming, but like, does it feel like it would be relevant?
You can.
It didn't look like it was part of the decoration of that room.
Okay.
What does this say? I bring out the notebook with the runes and the language that I copied down.
The runes, that's the countdown. Quite fun. You know, new students enter and you pull this big lever and it goes 10, 9, and the door opens. It's quite.
The door opens if you pull the lever?
Yes. What did you do?
Nothing.
Anyway,
nothing. We did nothing. We pulled the lever and opened it.
Yeah.
It just happened to fall apart.
We pulled a lever of our own that could be considered a sword.
You know, I think the fungus maybe ruined your door. We saw some fungus, some door ruining fungus on the way over here.
Point is, you need a new.
You might need
door.
A new, but it's
the owlbear was just going crazy on it.
Yeah. Anyway, what does this say?
I'm sorry, I'm not sure.
Oh. You didn't write this?
No. That it. I'm gonna roll. I got an actual 20. It's infernal, but I don't speak it.
Would you know of someone who would be able to speak it?
I know someone who speaks infernal.
It might be if we can find that devil again.
Well, I mean, a devil would certainly speak it. I think. I know someone who speaks infernal, but
someone here.
Not anyone. No one's here but me, and apparently an imp, and you three,
and this cool lizard we found.
And this cool lizard. Does it have a name?
Oh, you found him. Yeah, let me come up with the name that I know that Gimble knows off the top of his head. Haha, I don't have it written down on my phone instead of knowing it.
Randomnamegenerator.net.
I have a list of names.
It's Gimble's Jr.
Gimble's Jr.
No. Gimble doesn't like lizards. Gimble's a rodent person.
Oh, who could forget Dear Rat Boy?
Oh, you go back to the lizard. Oh, you found Nettle. That's quite wonderful. He I forgot when I was emptying out the school. That's bad.
Left him alone?
Nedall, by the way, is how I spelled that when I wrote it down.
Nettle. Well, who's very nice.
Yeah, it's a lizard. If you're attached to it, I would hate to see you separated.
You mean I can keep the lizard?
Sure.
Thank you.
You can't have a rat, though. Those are mine.
Oh, that's okay. They're very nice.
Wasn't planning on it. Yeah.
Do they have names?
Yes.
Okay. Well,
Do you want them all?
sure.
No. Of course. I don't
I
know.
want you to name every rat in the tank right now. Go.
Wait, there's like 30 rats.
Hang on.
Get
Wait,
naming.
actually, relevant. Identify every rat because the devil turned into a rat. Is the devil in here?
Oh shit. So you want to make an investigation check for a devil rat?
Yeah, I want to make an investigation for devil rat.
Double rat.
That's so funny. Gimble being someone who owned rats is something I've had written for 2 years since I've made this character. So I did not even think about that implication.
It's a 17. Is there a devil rat in here?
There is not a devil rat in here, but you notice that about 50% of these rats are mechanical. Half of them real, half of them really good replicas. And you can see there are some models that there's like little changes, and they're getting better. There are, some rat models that are extremely advanced and you wouldn't have known were mechanical if you had not been spending the time like picking up animals and like looking at them and like, trying to figure out if any of them were an imp in disguise.
Is Oliver just like searching through this dude's rat tank?
I imagine, maybe, yeah, if you're really being that serious about it, you could do it from the outside.
I'm doing it from the
across
outside.
the glass, but if you're trying to get really intense, he's not going to stop you from like sticking your hand in there. Once you said the devil, the imp turned into a rat, like he was like, yeah, that's about right. Like,
well, I'm very impressed by your work. Did you make these rats?
Yes, they're little pet project. That's the joke. See.
I love this dude.
I get it. Because they're pets. Very nice, Mr. Glim.
Exactly why I said it. It's good, right? Okay. I don't know. I just find them good companions. They're little. They're cute. Just like that. Small feet. Adorable.
Big teeth?
Big teeth. Rats are very cuddly. I don't know if you've ever spent time with them. They're quite fun. Okay.
Let's get to work on finding the not fun rat then, I guess.
Yeah, you guys can grab your stuff. And
can I ask for a map? Can I ask him for a map? And also maybe like a map of the building?
A map of the building. Yeah, he can pull one out. He also knows where he's going pretty well because he did build this place. And, as it's been around for hundreds of years, he's been the one kind of doing the additions and planning the additions. So it looks like it's a bunch of weird buildings stacked together because it started as something really small and then they just kind of expanded by Gimble planning additions to just kind of tack on to the building until they've had this weird monstrosity of a thing that doesn't make a ton of sense floor plan wise. Like the first floor doesn't necessarily reflect what's going up here. The stairwells, like they're in different places. You know what I mean? There's no one stairwell you can walk up all the way.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's very oddly constructed, but it's also kind of, I think, fitting now that you've met the man who made it. You're like, this kind of tracks. He can lead you out the front of his office. First, does anybody need healing? Because I am hurt.
Do you have a mechanism for healing? Because I can heal you, but I only have 2 spell slots left.
Oh, I'm a cleric, so I do healing quite a lot. You'll be surprised. No, you shouldn't be surprised how much students in alchemy and engineering hurt themselves.
Also trying to get up the pulley, seems like.
No one comes up the pulley. Usually I don't have traps set up in every room in the place. So most of the time people walk up the stairs and it's fine. The pulley is like mostly so people can send me food because I forget to eat when I'm working on something in my office. That's mostly why it's there. That's why it comes from the cafeteria.
That makes sense. So anyway, we saw the imp dude in the stage room.
Oh, seriously, does anyone need healing? Because I'm going to cast a healing spell, and if no one needs it, then I'll just cast it on myself.
Because we took a long rest and we didn't fight anything.
That's true. So then I'm going to cast Cure Wounds on myself.
If I knew you could do that.
What?
If I knew you could do that, wouldn't have burned my spell slot.
Well, I don't think anyone expected that the head of the engineering school would be a religious man. Except there was a bunch of stuff you missed on the second floor, which was all would have told you that something like that was going on. So if you healed him for 6, right?
Yes.
So that's 17. I'm going to do one more of those at a higher level as well. I know how to do math. 17 plus 18 is a number that I can do in my head. That's 35. That'll be enough for now. I don't know if any of you have 35 hit points. So Gibble's not at full because
Purple dude.
he's a higher level than you by just a little bit. But that's fine. So he can lead you out of his office after he casts a couple quick healing spells on himself. He's like stands up and he's like, "Thank you very much," and then he just kind of mutters under his breath and like presses his chest a couple times, and you can see just like healing magic like go like a couple times into him, and he's like, "Okay, now that's much better." Like he really appreciated those 6 points, but he's also like, yeah, his bonus to spell is 9, so it's like so you walk out of his office and you walk down the stairs to the 3rd floor. And Gimble, as he's walking down, he says, "These are a couple of our professors' offices that we keep in this building. Basically, if you don't go through these doors, we're not going to get hit by the traps, but I could also disarm them and we could search for the devil in there. I don't know where he's been, so I don't necessarily know."
Could you get through the traps?
I could disarm them.
Yeah. I don't know how a devil works. Can he go through the walls or?
Oh no, they're not incorporeal. They're physical. He could maybe shapeshift.
Yeah, he did into a rat.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
And he became invisible.
If we find it, I can banish it. That could be fine, as long as we can get to it.
Before we banish it, I think we should ask it about what that infernal says.
Yeah.
Like to see if we could get answers.
Why it's here, if what it did.
Mm.
Good question. So he leads you to the first door on the left, and he kind of leans down in front of it. He is going to grab a pair of thieves' tools he has from his pocket and spend just one kind of second to like sit and focus, and you see him hold the little Ayun thing on his chest, and then he grabs his thieves' tools and he begins to unlock the door. And I rolled a natural 20. Wow. And I also have proficiency now because I did that. So then so it's a 24, definitely unlocks this trap. And he kind of, like had taken that second to focus and hold his symbol. And then suddenly he just knows what he's doing and he's unlocking this door super easily, turns the handle, pushes it in, and you see an office that looks a little bit more like a workshop. It is a room that is covered in kind of like mechanical parts of all kinds. There is, some machinery along the walls, the big wooden table in the center of the room, and there's scattered gears and bolts and pneumatic tubes and saws and buttons and just shelves lining the walls of all this material. And there's kind of like a small hearth burning along the far wall across from you that is just smoldering. But you can see there is this the kind of workshop in front of you.
Why don't we split up around the room and investigate?
Yeah. I agree.
Investigation checks for everybody?
Yeah, go for it. Gimble will make one too.
That's a 15.
Yep, same here.
5.
10. So Gimble also was just like looking at it, and he's like, how did this get so messy? And he's not really paying attention to like actually searching around for things. He more begins to kind of sort out some of the little bits and bobs and putting screws in containers as you guys search around the room. So you got a 5. Oliver, you said you got something, all right?
15.
15. Balthus got a
15.
15. You look around, you notice in the fire there's kind of remains of like a smoldering letter that you can pull from it, and it's just a note that basically says that it's from Glim, addressed to another teacher, and it's saying that we need to get the students off campus. Can you take them into some of the neighboring cities, and we can trade it as an opportunity to maybe install some more mechanically superior stuff in some of the city halls or some of their stuff there. Like they're kind of doing an outreach mission to kind of convince the students basically that everything's fine and that we should all be off campus doing this other thing right now. But in actuality, it was pretty much like a quick like everyone leave, like something's wrong here. So that's what you find in the fire.
If that's all, then
Yeah.
we'll just go room to room.
Yeah, the next room is another door that Gimble's going to stop and try to unlock. And I got a not good. I got a 14. Even with proficiency. He's like not getting it quite right with the lock picking tools, and so he's like, and he has to like stop and think about it, and then he just casts dispel magic on the door, and it should, and like to try to like get a trap off that way, and it should fly open. Maybe, I don't know, are mechanical and magical locks mixed? They are now. And he's gonna dispel magic, which should definitely work. So the door kind of like creaks open after he kind of like dusts himself off and pretends that nothing happened. He's like, that was fine showing of my magical skills. I need to mark off a spell slot. And you open the door, and it smells foul in here. It's not nice. This room is made almost entirely of metal, like iron sheets on the walls. All of the tables, furnishings, stools are metal in here. There are small bits of green alchemical fire that cling to the corners of the tables still. Not a burning blaze, but alchemical fire can be quite hard to put out. So it just kind of sits in the small piles where it broke, making a smoky, metallic scent to the air that's not super pleasant. And it smells terrible, like kind of rotting, but not in a healthy way. And you can see that there's like empty cages full of this yellow fungus just in piles beneath this kind of lowest table. And in the center of the table sits a large yellow crystal, bigger than the size of your fist. And it almost looks like there's been an explosion of fungus kind of away from this crystal where it sits in the center of the table.
So like it could have been maybe a project at the college that went wrong? Or that's the...
Yeah. And you look over at Gimble, and he looks like he doesn't look like he recognizes this kind of space.
He does recognize. He knows the room.
He knows the room, but I mean, you want, you can do an insight check to see like if he's.
Well, I mean, Gimble, what do you make of this, or Mr. Glim?
I didn't. You don't have to call me Mister. Many of my students don't, but I didn't know that this was here.
I would like to insight check him.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, I got a 14.
He's kind of hard to read. he definitely looks surprised. So regardless, you're not quite sure whether he had ever known that this was happening, but at least the state of the room as it's in now is pretty shocking to him. So you know that, but it's hard to tell. He's been kind of like, making jokes and poking fun at this whole situation since you met him, but he kind of has a little bit more of a somber air now that feels more legitimate.
I would like to investigate the yellow crystal specifically.
Yeah.
Was this here before? Do you do things with crystals here? No?
No, my purview is more mechanical manipulation and artificial intelligence of small rodents. But Angelica had always been something of, purifying elements, distilling for various alchemical concoctions. That was her main position on staff and research. I did not sign off on this project, whatever it is.
Can you tell us more about Angelica?
A great alchemist, teacher here for at least 20 years. I don't know. I'd never. I don't know. Elvin.
Where is she now?
Well, off with the students. I sent all the professors off in groups.
Okay. Gonna investigate that crystal.
Yeah, go for it.
Well, I rolled a wonderful 8 plus 2.
So it's not like it's literally just sitting on the table. There's not like a pedestal or a container or anything holding this. It is just sitting there, and as far as you can see, lifting it up will not activate a seriously complex trap, but you can't really tell anything else about it. It's not, refined well. It's not faceted at all. It's kind of a very raw looking crystal. It has kind of jagged edges.
And if I pick it up, it doesn't hurt me? I can pick it up?
Yeah, you can pick it up. It does not hurt you. I would not have said you were certain about that from your check because it was an 8. So that's why I was trying to be like, but it's not gonna hurt you. So
yeah, because I picked it up. So I'm glad it didn't kill me.
Yeah.
Could I do an Arcana check? Would I be able to identify if it's wild magic?
Yeah, go for it.
That's a 21.
This is wild magic. It seems. That's so funny that you'd never asked me that question before, but as you had this thought, right, and you're looking at this crystal, and you suddenly realize that, this is something, I don't know, this alchemist was distilling natural things into kind of pure forms, and when she was working with this fungus, it must have somehow distilled into this physical incarnation of the wild magic that it represented. And that's kind of what you're holding at Mirje. It's heavier than it looks. It's definitely got some heft to it when you lift it up in your palm.
Wow. You want to take care of this, Oliver? Maybe you can investigate it more.
I guess I very carefully take it. I have my gloves.
Yeah, great. You can mark down wild magic crystal in your inventory if you'd want to keep track of that.
So you said she was a teacher here for she's been here 20 years?
Yes, just about.
But she did not bring this fungus. The fungus was here 50 years before?
Yeah. I mean, the fungus it's been spreading kind of across the border for many years. I don't know why, but it had always been kind of attracted to this location. It seems to sprout up more around us here than in many other locations across the continent.
That was what Melnim sent us to you about.
Oh.
Just understanding what is happening and why the wild magic is changing like this and what we might be able to do to help.
I don't know exactly. I mean, this is definitely a bastion of development. It's an engineering school, and there is a small problem with producing waste that has, kind of become a just typical of our area. So I'm sure if there was some sort of thought, at least, to this, then that might be something. But yeah, it came on its own. Maybe Angelica came to follow it? But I'm not sure what intentions nature holds for us here.
Do you tend to work with wild magic here?
No. I mean, most of our magic is of the more scientific nature. I break that mold a little bit, but typically we're not in any sort of natural magic. I think the divine is the closest we'd get to that, and that's even Ayun does not typically grant me spells in that realm.
Your god has not granted you any knowledge of this thing plaguing your school?
No, I have not asked for knowledge necessarily. I work in a way of education and giving, and I don't know, I've lived a long life, never quite in as much peril as it seems we may be in now. I've not had a need to ask anything directly of my mistress of that level.
I mean, I'm not going to tell you how to do your job, but I feel like maybe she might have might be useful.
I could, first look up if I don't have commune prepared, but I also don't know what level commune is. So that's something I need to look up.
I mean, you don't have to do it right now, but
I can't. I mean, he can't do it today. I just don't know if he can do it. You know what I mean? I have to think of just barely. Well, I've only in my more recent years been able to even attempt a ritual of that size. I could, after a night's rest, talk with her.
Yeah, I just think that might be an idea.
Commune, I didn't realize, level 5 spell.
Nice.
So that's a big boy.
A big boy spell.
Yeah, he's got one fifth level spell. So that's actually, I was like, oh, actually, just barely able to cast Commune. So, yeah, that's gonna have to be tomorrow though. So he's just kind of like, I guess in the morn I will speak with the knowing mistress.
You sound uneasy.
Do you want to talk to God? I don't. I mean, what if she's like, oh, you're so dumb, Gimbal. It's obviously this thing. Why do you call yourself a goddess? No, wait, cleric. That was just me messing up.
I think Gimbal's that she might take offense to you calling yourself a goddess, but
obviously I didn't mean that.
It seems that you are very dedicated to her, and I'm sure that helping you is in her interest.
He pulls a rat out of his pocket and starts petting it.
I'm just gonna pat him on the shoulder gently. Yeah, sorry. Didn't mean to like all the way up here.
That tall. He is just a gnome. Like, but just in case you don't know, Balthus, this guy's like 3 feet tall.
Tiny.
Like, he's little.
Yeah.
And he's like walking really fast to keep up with all you guys because you're a lot, especially you, Balthus, you're a lot taller than him.
Yeah, I wouldn't be worried. Glim, why don't we check out another room?
We should keep searching for the imp.
Yes. I mean, I don't anticipate him being here, but there's one more room on this floor to look at. And he leads you out here and then to the hallway all the way at the end. In this room, he doesn't even attempt to unlock the door or cast a spell. He just opens it and walks right in. You can see a fog of a kind of multicolored cloud fills the room and the doorway, and you can't really see him anymore after he walks into the room. And you can hear him begin to cough. And he yells back at you, "You'll be okay. Just come on in." And he's like, as he's like coughing in the middle of this just colorful cloud of smoke.
Are you sure?
I know how to make it stop. As he's like, you can hear things like bottles like clinging and like metal like bouncing off. And the fog still hasn't cleared, but it seems he is doing something. And then you can hear him pouring liquids, and then suddenly his coughing stops. The fog is still there, but he's like, "I've prepared the antidote, so it's not hurtful anymore."
Would you bring it to us?
Yeah, I guess.
Good.
It'd be kind of funny if she went on the smoke room, but whatever. Would have been really funny if you messed up, mixing stuff, because there's some fun side effects from here. But that's fine. All right, and then he throws some vials out the doorway. No, doesn't like throw, like he kind of just peeks out and low hand. What's the word? Underhand?
Yeah.
I said low hand, but he underhand tosses you a couple vials of this like dark blackish brownish liquid.
Right. I take a look at it for a long time, contemplating how much I don't want to drink this black brown liquid, but I drink it.
Do you drink it, Mirje?
Yeah, I drink it.
You feel like your throat is suddenly super clear. It tasted like blackberries, and you're fine.
I'm not dead, so you guys are probably fine.
All right.
All right, I drink it.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, you kind of have that same experience of like almost like after you eat like horseradish or something, where like your sinuses and your whole throat feel kind of very clear, but it's more of a pleasant. It doesn't sting, you know what I mean? And it tastes a little sweet. And you walk in, and while the fog does make it a little harder to see, you don't have any like adverse effects from kind of walking into this cloud. And then he's like, I forgot where the off switch is, so we could find it. But at least for now, none of us are coughing.
What is?
Can I make a? Whoa, sorry.
What is the purpose of the rainbow fog?
Well, this is a lot of important books in here, so
okay,
you got to know how to make the right drink in order to not die looking at them.
Neat.
Yeah. When students get in here, we can cure them. It's just, it's a little bit harder for them to, get in and out without us knowing. They usually need to stop by the infirmary. It's not like instant death. That would be crazy. This is a college. But I'm a cleric, so that's another reason I keep with it, is having healing powers when you have rooms like this. It's important.
Interesting. I will not be applying here. I've
only ever had to revive students a handful of times, so it's fine.
Revive?
Yeah, we keep a stash of diamonds downstairs.
Okay.
Sounds like you have many great adventures here.
The problems did not necessarily start when the fungus took over this college.
It was the least of its concerns.
I don't know that they're going to be getting a very good safety rating.
Yeah, Ray, my professor, is going to trash them.
This guy tried to kill me. He did.
This guy actually killed me.
Out of 10.
Like, I'm not kidding.
Can I roll for a perception check to turn the fog off?
Yeah, go for it. Do you guys want to look around?
Break the fog machine.
The fog. You identify where the fog machine is.
That's a 4.
A 4?
I'm
Dang.
not doing that hot.
You're like just staring at all the colors swirling in front of you and just having such a weird, like, out of body, like, what is this? Why would an institution of learning ever do something like this? Like, and you're just so dumbfounded and you just can't continue the search. Did you get Balthus? You look around?
Yeah, I got an 18.
18. You managed to, with the help of Gimbal, go through and find the kind of opening in the wall that is releasing this smoke and put a cover over it. As you leave the door open, it eventually does begin to kind of sift out through the hallway and dissipate. So you're left standing in this room that is a library of a bunch of important older tomes. There are some here that are religious, but there are a lot here that are textbooks and just many, many copies of engineering books. You see a few written by Gimbal with his obscenely long name on the spine. You know, his initials on the front of the book are like GGGGG or something. Like, how many names does he have? I think it was like 5 or 6.
Many.
It is 6. That was correct.
Hit us with the full name again.
Gimbal, Garrick, Gleben, Gilronk, Gerkink, Glim.
It's your terrible name.
Do you say Geralt?
Bad if Gilronk was my middle name.
Let's see. That was the one. Oh, his brother gave him that name. That's why.
Oh, he's got a history for each one.
Yeah.
That's cute.
So this character originally I made as a PC for me when my first D&D character died a sudden and painful death as the rest of my party abandoned her in the Cursed Woods. And so I was like, well, I've got to make a new character. So I made this guy Glim, and then our D&D group disbanded. I never got to play him. And I was well, I have this really high-level cleric who is a professor of engineering. Might as well use him somewhere else.
That's what happened to him.
Yeah. He was gonna start a whole adventure. I had a whole backstory for him. So that's why I'm saying, like, the whole thing about him liking rats was set like 2 years ago. It's because I made this character 2 years ago.
That's awesome.
And this whole time, I've had all his stupid 6 names and why he likes having pet rats and what his mother's name, mom's name, Dankly. Like, I have so much information about him. Listen.
That's awesome.
Can we readdress?
No. I was not complaining. I was not complaining. You don't see me complaining.
Yeah, it's a win, but like, I just do want to get into it.
Anyway.
Yeah. So the backstory I have written for Gimbal. Let's see. His mom's named Dankly. His father's named Ginamik. His uncle named Tiki. Tiki.
Are we like, maybe we're just like chilling with him in the college right now? We're like, tell us a
going
little
through the
about
books
you.
and like looking for like anything helpful, and he's just like giving you his whole.
Back when I was born,
my brother Grimcase, so he was the one who named me Gilrock. Isn't that funny? Anyway, as I stayed there and took care of my parents until I was 45, and then I decided to go start a career in engineering and blah blah blah. And he's like, just telling you all about that. He likes to make animal models. He worked in this one institution so long that his former students started becoming his coworkers. And then he's like, maybe I should start my own place. And then he started his own school. And he's been here for a couple hundred years.
Nice.
Because gnomes are old. He's an older gnome. He's not, super old yet. He doesn't look particularly frail. But the way he talks, you gather he's at least 300, maybe older than that, but he does have a lot of experience in schooling and all these other weird topics that he can ramble on about. He pulls a couple books from the wall. He actually pulls like an infernal to common dictionary. And pulls it out and begins to kind of compare it to the note that you showed, Mirje. And now I have to remember what it says. It says he's looking at it and he's finally finished deciphering. I figured it out and I understand less than when I started. It says, I have forgotten my name.
In the
That's what the inscription says?
Yep.
Huh.
Okay, I thought that was like
I thought, yeah, you had
was being
Alzheimer's.
like, oops, read a spell.
You have forgotten all 6 of your names?
No. I know my
told
name.
us. What?
I know my name. I'm Gimbal Garrick, Leben Gilrod, Gherkin Glim.
John Jacob Jingleheimer Schmidt. Great.
Jacob Jingleheimer. Percival, Von Musel, Kowalski, Drolo. What's his face? All right.
I think we better find this imp.
That might make sense. Yes. Why? All right. We should find the imp, and then we should find Angelica. Well, you should find Angelica. I might have some things to take care of at the college after that. I'd be happy to send you on your way to her if I can be of any help finding.
That would be a great help.
Well, I guess down the stairs. You walk down onto the second floor. He leads you down the stairwell and then through the wide open double doors and back into the cafeteria. The stairs up to the second floor were the third floor, which is kind of beyond that. So you're pretty quick to get back to where you were. And you're in the cafeteria. There's the kitchen. There's the pulley room. There's some rooms past the stairwell that you haven't been into yet that, Gimbal just kind of passed by brusquely as you walked in. It was like a offshoot to the left as you walked out of the stairs, and he just kind of continues walking you to the caf and is like, well,
those rooms are not important.
We could, there are multiple ways to get through them. That was a testing room, cubicles.
Okay.
Desks. We could look through if you wish, but
No, I mean,
should we check the imp for them?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. We could check the imp. No, we can check for the imp.
We could also look where we first found it, because it looked like it just wanted to relax on the...
It was asleep, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That is odd, but I guess I could look for somewhere to sleep.
I mean, do they sleep usually? I've never met an imp.
I don't generally deal with devils too often. I guess it depends on what kind of devil they are. Maybe only higher level devils can sleep because they have the time and luxury of devildom.
Okay. You think this was like a high up guy?
There's no way it was a high up guy. That would suck really bad. It must be something low level. I also feel like it would have probably hurt me more if it, I don't think I would have just been unconscious if you found me with the higher level devil.
Probably what attacked you, yes? Was this...
I mean, maybe it was an owlbear. Who knows? But it seems like a plausible theory.
I feel like we could maybe each search one room to look for the imp. There's a lot of space we have to cover.
Yeah. If you want to search rooms you haven't been to, you haven't been in the bathroom, you haven't been in the kitchen, you haven't been in the testing room, and there are some chambers beyond the testing room that you also have not been in. So you could maybe make a plan to split up that way or stay together that way. I don't know if you want to necessarily start splitting up, like sending people downstairs, because that's going to be more of a...
And stay close.
Yeah, so maybe the rooms that are kind of closest together, someone could search the kitchen, we have the cafeteria, you could research. There is the kind of sitting room, bathroom area, there's the testing room. Is that enough? There's 4 of you. We could do that. All right, who wants to go where? I mean, tell me where you're gonna go. I'm trying to give you options for what places are available.
Bathroom.
The bathroom? Skylar's going to the bathroom.
I'll check the cafeteria.
I'll check the testing room.
You're gonna check the testing room? And all right, then Gimbal will check in the kitchen. Oliver, you want to make an investigation check of the testing room. It's a long, thin room, and there are just kind of cubicles with desks along the walls.
That's a 21.
21. You see it's pretty empty. There is one desk here that has a journal kind of open to it. If you want, you can read through it. It has some notes from a student about how, like, just detailing the kind of feeling of weirdness as this yellow fungus kind of slowly grows closer and closer to the school. And like, he was, confused as to why people started like barricading the door. Like, it was this just, just kind of the confusion from the outside of seeing this kind of slow progression of nature coming closer and closer to the buildings. That's kind of the details you get out of that notebook.
How long ago was that dated?
Pretty recent. The last entry of like, oh, we're actually going to go do this field trip thing. That's weird. I wonder if it has anything to do with, the
ominous
the state of things, the ominous state of things recently. It's like 4 days ago is the most recent entry here. Let's see. Balthus, you wanted to go search in the bathroom? You walk in, you see it's, a nicer bathroom. It seems that there is some sort of like enchanted material that keep everything kind of like, there's like a fresh flowing water in this kind of basin in there. And you see a little sculpture of that pin of Ioun that you've seen on the lapel of Gimbal. You see a kind of more, it's like a stone eye on that kind of crooked wooden staff that wraps around it is kind of a little sculpture in the back of the room. You can do a little investigation check, but
sure. I got a nat 20.
Natural 20. You're looking at it and you notice that, well, on the symbol on Gimbal's chest, the eye had been kind of facing the other way. So you poke it, and as the eye shifts into position, again, the brick walls that are kind of one of the constant themes here shifts and opens up, and a kind of secret door opens up into a chamber beyond. You can walk in there.
Sure. Is it big enough to fit me?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
It's the chamber behind here is actually bigger than the room you just came out of.
Oh.
It's much longer, and you can see there are just big, heavy chests lining the floor. But other than that, it's empty, and there are these 4 big trunks basically in here.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Hey, Oliver, Mirje, I found a secret room.
Right about the time that you're yelling this, you found a secret room. You hear from a little farther away into the building, you hear Gimbal go, "I found a devil!" And he just kind of, it sounds very nervous and is yelling. But you, Oliver and Mirje, kind of have these 2 distant calls, one from your colleague Balthus and one a call for help from your new friend Gimbal. And that, I think, is where we should call it for tonight. This has been Phantasmal Forest. Thank everybody so much for watching, whoever's watching this. I really appreciate it. You can follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Phantasmal D&D. We'd love to see you over there.